Welcome, one and everyone, to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 195, I do believe. Many of you are going through a commercial right now, because apparently I have the station set to play a commercial upon starting. So, while you're watching the commercial, I'm going to see if I can fix some light without burning myself. Is that better? Am I a little bit more lit? Turn up the music, says HT Star. Sounds good to me. Let's see. There we go. Can't go wrong with that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fantastic show for you today. A show filled with drama and wonder and the murder of many undeserving tiny animals, with their pelts being strewn upon the floor and their flesh being turned into beautiful hamburgers for us all to enjoy. I kid, but there are new things about this program, including I finally got it to stick so far. Now, I've been talking a lot until I just started this program, so I don't know if talking is going to mess it up. But for those of you who were here last week, and the week before, and the week before that, you know that I have had a battle as of late with the Mustache. My battle is that, as a fan pointed out to me, it's impossible Alright, how's that, ladies and gentlemen? Please tell me if you can in fact see me and hear me. Handmint says yes, Rollerin says back, there we go says G up son. Good. And another commercial. You know, I don't understand why I'm on Twitch TV. I actually haven't gotten a single check from them for all of the commercials they play on my stream. So anyway, I've got, before I smoke my delicious cigar, I have to tell you a little bit about the stash. So many of you will remember my frustrations with the stash for the past few weeks. Last week I tried a sort of gelatin that didn't really stick, and so halfway during the show my mustache fell. The week before that I used a wax, and the wax was better, but it still was not quite as I would have hoped. Today, I forewent the wax, I forewent the gel, and I've used hairspray. Yes, this is just simple, everyday hairspray. My wife lent me her can. I thought I was done using my wife's tricks to get the mustache to work, but this one works. So far, the mustache is staying to the side, allowing for the passage of smoke. How did the hairspray taste? Asks Newt Gingrich. No, I'm sorry, his name is Goot Ningrich. Not nice. What I actually did is I put a towel over my mouth and then flipped the ends of my mustache over the towel and then just sprayed it down, and then combed it aside, and then took a hairdryer and blew it dry. My only fear now is that my face might catch on fire. A justified fear, I actually do say, because hairspray is in fact flammable. Have you ever seen those potato guns where you've got a big PVC pipe and you put a potato in one end and then you spray a bunch of hairspray inside the pipe and then have one spark? Yeah, so there's a mini explosion inside the PVC pipe because the hairspray is in fact flammable and it shoots the potato. Not that I've ever done anything like that before, playing with fire and vegetables. But I have used a lot of hairspray on my face, and I'm about to ignite this masterful stick, so I'm a little worried. We'll see. If there is an explosion, it's okay. I'll be back in one way or another. Maybe as a cupid. Maybe as something else. So this is a cigar I did not purchase myself. I take that back. This is a cigar I did purchase myself because I have not received any new cigars from the fans. Ralaron, who is in the chat right now, is the usual donor of cigars to this fine program. But, as is understandable, he was not able to provide me with cigars every single week, so I did actually resort to purchasing a cigar. This one was a cheapie, as we call in the biz an El Cheapo. It was about $2, and you can tell because it's JM's cigar. Oh my, good old JM brand. Alright, here we go, explosion time. And a perfect smoke ring. Yes, yes, the hairspray is worth it. Ah, oh fellow smoke ring, I am glad to have you back. Mr. 8-Ball says, don't forget to tell people about your book. Ralaron says, what book? Well, I am so glad you guys brought it up. I'd hate to leave people in the dark. I'm all about transparency here at ScotchandSmokerings.com. So here you go. This is my novel, The Tale of Cloran Hastings. Check it out. The Tale of Cloran Hastings, an epic fantasy swashbuckling novel that takes place out at sea, is suitable for adults or young adults. There is magic, there is mysticism, there is wonder, there are sword fights, and yes, many innocent creatures are slaughtered and their skins are turned into fancy hats. Everything a fantasy novel needs. So I highly encourage you to purchase The Tale of Cloran Hastings, available at chloranhastings.com. I'll type it in there for you. And Amazon and Barnes & Noble and all of that. Non-Stop Disco says, Oxhorn, is it available as an ebook? If not, will it be in the future? It actually is available as an ebook. You can get it for the Amazon Kindle or the Barnes & Noble Nook or the iPad from the iTunes Store or any number of ebook formats for $9.99. Find it at chloranhastings.com. chloranhastings.com. And I was kidding about the slaying tiny animals and turning them into hats. I would never put that in the book. It's cloaks. Cloaks. Handman says, I'm on chapter 7 of your novel, and when I finish doing a book review for school, it will be over 5 stars. I'm so glad that you're enjoying it and that you're doing a book review for school. I'm happy if you go to Amazon and give it a 5-star review. I will be in your debt. Thank you so much for reading the book. Ironbark, you didn't ban me, did you? It's good to see you, by the way. It's been a while since you've been here. I know, I'm the one peddling links in my own chat. I probably deserve a ban. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on a more somber note, it looks like the FBI has two suspects in mind for who could have committed the atrocity on Monday, which was the bombing of the marathon in Boston. It was about 5 o'clock Eastern Time this evening when they identified two suspects and put their photographs all over the FBI website. At that time, I actually went onto Twitter and Facebook and sent out a link to the FBI website. And I encourage everyone to go and check out the photos just in case you might be able to recognize these two ungentlemanly individuals who deserve a thrashing and more. So check it out. Go to my Twitter account, which is @Oxhorn, and you can find that information there. They will be found, says Austin the Wiz. They will indeed. This is the U.S. of bloody America. You do not do that thing. Handman says that first smoke ring you blew turned into a ship. Maybe. I doubt that, though. It could have possibly turned into a boat. A ship is quite a different creature, and I usually save those to the end. Rowlerin says CNN sure has done a bang-up job, lol. Yeah, I know. I tweeted about it earlier. I was so upset. Yeah, that and the New York Post. Both of them, they deserve their own unique place in history. Oh, thank you for reminding me. Autumn says, what are you drinking tonight, Oxhorn? How could I have forgotten to pour a drink? That is just unseemly. Alright, time to pour some scotch. And that is, of course, what I am drinking today. I'm drinking some Scoresby single malt scotch whiskey. Blended scotch whiskey. I do prefer single malts like Lafroig and Glenfiddich and Glenlivet. However, I'm a cheapskate, and I purchased the $11 bottle instead of the $40 bottle, as I'm sure you can understand. So today we are drinking $11 worth of scotch all at once. I kid, I would never do that unless it was my birthday, which it's not. So today we're only going to be drinking probably about 39 cents worth of scotch in this glass right there. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Pour yourself some gentlemanly and ladylike beverages and raise your glass in a classy toast to love, life, liberty, and finding those brutes that decided to make a bomb out of a pressure cooker. Cheers. I didn't even get my mustache wet. Look at that. The mustache is dry. Oh my, I think I found my new favorite thing. But I don't know, can I really put hairspray in my mustache every day? I guess as long as I don't tell anybody, no one will notice, right? Everyone will just say, oh wow, your mustache looks a little less dirty today. And I'll say, yes, that's because I didn't have it dragging in my hot cocoa. There are no marshmallows stuck in my follicles because I used hairspray today. Bacon Strips asks, do you ever lose things in your beard, like small children or dogs or stuff? I try not to eat small children or dogs, so it's hard for me to get them lost in my beard. However, I do get lost in my beard the souls of baby manatees. Those happen to be midnight snacks of mine. Try not to pass it around because I don't want PETA to start knocking on my door. Goot Ningrich says, hey Oxhorn, is it just as classy to have a handlebar mustache instead of a beard? I would say it depends. There are very few individuals, in my honest opinion, that can rock a handlebar mustache appropriately. I don't even know if I can. I've done the handlebar mustache a few times, and my mustache grows in such a way that it's really thick here, but it's not so thick here. So if I attempt a handlebar, I usually get a dolly, because it just gets really long. Now, the individuals who might usually be of Scandinavian descent can rock a nice handlebar mustache because every follicle is densely packed, and they get these beautiful things that go this way. And those fine fellows, I think, can rock a handlebar mustache very well. It just depends on your own unique cocktail of genetics, which conjures up a horrible image, so we're going to drown it with Scotch. Cheers. Donder Walkix says, how long did it take you to grow this beard? This beard is 1 year and 4 months old. That's right, it is coming up on its 1.5 birthday here in about June. And in December of this year, it will be 2 years old. Now, the reason that I am letting it grow to be such an old and distinguished beard is because a beard reaches its terminal length at 2 years old. After that, the growth rate slows to a crawl, at least in appearances, if not in actuality. So, if you want to reach your beard's terminal length, you can do it in about 2 years. Every bit of length you gain after that is not quite as noticeable. So, I'm waiting at least until the 2 year mark so that I can see exactly how long this beard can get. Autumn says, Ox, I'm writing a book. How difficult was it to get yours published? Very difficult, and yet not so difficult. So I actually published it myself. I used a print-on-demand system to publish my novel to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and a number of other online retailers. If you ever want to look into it, Google CreateSpace, which is Amazon's print-on-demand publisher, and then BookBaby. Both are very handy tools. Nikolaj221 asks, are you planning to get back on YouTube more full-time? Yes and no. Now, YouTube currently has a live streaming service available for producers like myself, and yet they haven't opened it up for everyone. I would love to be able to do this show both from Twitch TV and from YouTube directly. As it is, I do it from Twitch TV and then upload the episodes to YouTube. Which is not the preferred way of doing it. So, yes, I do happen to desire to be more active on YouTube, and I'll probably do that with this show. Now, are you asking if I'm going to get back into machinima and make more animated movies? Yes. That's a tentative yes with a maybe question mark at the end, which is why I had a little bit of inflection at the end of the sentence when I said yes. That's my way of saying, sure, maybe, yeah, why not, maybe someday, I don't know, yeah. That's a definitive yes, by the way. A big thumbs up all the time. Handmint says, Oxhorn, do you play StarCraft? I do. I love StarCraft, especially StarCraft 2. I mean, I was a big fan of StarCraft when it came out back in the 90s. But yeah, I do love StarCraft 2. I played both betas. What's the latest one? Heart of the Swarm. I have not played Heart of the Swarm yet, but I did play Wings of Liberty, and I really enjoyed it. I wish I had more time these days to play the good old video games. That time, I'm sure, will come someday, maybe when Gavin is old enough to appreciate video games, and then I get to introduce him to all the games that I missed during the first half of the 2010s. Ironbark says, if YouTube had servers like Netflix, lag wouldn't be an issue. Netflix uses the Amazon cloud to host their movies, and I don't know what YouTube uses. But we can always tell them to go ahead and use the Amazon cloud. Crinkle says, hey Ox, how are you and the family? We are doing very well. Thank you. Little Gavin is just over 10 months old. He's going to have a birthday party in a couple months. Jody is getting ready to throw a huge space-themed birthday for him. We're getting a cake made. We've made Star Wars-themed invitations. We're going to have Wookiee cookies and Yodakamole. and any other number of ridiculous Star Wars named foods. What are some of the others? Lightsaber-sicles? So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun. Routine Havoc says, did you play StarCraft 2 ladder? What division, if you did, or league, whatever they're called? Yeah, when I played the StarCraft 2 ladder, I was fairly good. I wasn't the best, but I was like in the 8 and 9s. And I forget the ladder. It was like silver, and they gave me an A+ with a thumbs up and a badge of courage. I'm just making stuff up right now, by the way. I don't even know if those things exist in StarCraft 2. Wow, this song got really loud. I feel like I have to shout. Austin the Wiz says smoke rings. Alright. Ghoulbreath asks, not X. Hey Oxhorn, Team Fortress 2 question. I was talking to a friend and he told me that he heard of a Team Fortress 2 hat that was sold for $1,500. Opinions? Would you pay that much for pixels? Depends. If it was bitcoins, maybe. If it was a hat in Team Fortress 2, no. No, definitely not. Shawarma says, we're loosing Arathi Basin. Inspire us, Ox. Onward and upward, my friends. Find the high points, and then aim your bows and arrows at the coming hordes. Pierce their very souls, and defend your lumberyards, and farms, and stables, and whatever else it is that you've got to defend. For some reason, because you don't actually go and produce things with them. But defend them, because they are under attack. Lalzay says, Oxhorn rocks, greetings from Germany. Coding Force says, also Germany heart. Pleasure to have my German friends here. Love for Bavaria. One of my favorite holidays in World of Warcraft is, of course, Brewfest, inspired in no small part by the Bavarian traditions of my friends across the pond. So many cheers to you. I tip my hat to you, good sirs. I had a good one in there, but it flew by way too quickly. Lowtech83 says, I will give you an internet high five if you stroke your mustache for me. Yes, quite indubitably, yes. I say, yes. Why do I start stuttering? One of these days I will be able to afford a house with a den. And in that den I will have wood panels on the walls and then bookshelves from floor to ceiling. Of course there will be a hidden room behind one of the bookshelves, but that goes without saying. I will have a fireplace, and before that fireplace a very large rug from the Orient, I'm assuming, with a giant picture of Winston Churchill above the fireplace and a giant picture of C.S. Lewis above the door. And on evenings like these, I will walk into my den or parlor, pour myself a glass of scotch from the nice little Scotch caddy that will sit beside my giant red leather armchair, in which I sink while wearing my beautiful thick and velvety robe that's got all sorts of interesting oriental markers on it. And then I'll open up my humidor and crack open a brand new cigar with my guillotine splitter and pontificate about politics while reading my local fish wrapper and wearing spectacles and talking like this. Someday. Someday. Austin the Wiz says, is that your dream, Ox? A man has to dream. Yes, that is my dream. $20 bill says, woo, love cigars, but got a question. Guinness Extra Stout, rum, or red wine? I'm going to go with rum, simply because it is a liquor, and I prefer a spirit. But if that wasn't an option, I would go with Guinness Extra Stout. Red wine, as nice as it is, it's one of those things that you have to hold daintily by the stem so you don't get fingerprints on the bowl, and it's good for, you know, talking casually with peers within your own social class about the news of the day and so forth, maybe at the end of a long meal of spaghetti, which is great, but I prefer the liquids that you consume at the end of the day when you're relaxing with your chums and then having a leisurely conversation about whatever happens to interest you at that given time, with maybe one or two stones in the glass like this. This is much more up my alley, and that is the last time you'll ever hear me refer to anything going up my alley. Cheers. Caramel Chocolate says, I just had a single malt dark ale. Congratulations to you, sir. Bottoms up. Fan art! Yes, fan art! Thank you both, Bistro and Autumn. Yes, so the way that I decided to do fan art from here on out is I created that group. Oh, and I've got two people that need to be invited. Or to be added, okay. I created a brand new group on Facebook called Scotch and Smoke Rings. And if you upload your photo or your piece of fan art to Scotch and Smoke Rings, I will show it off. Now we have quite a few submissions here, so I'm going to create a screen region. Let's make it yay big. I'm going to plow this up and show you what we've got. So this is, of course, the new group. Let's see what we have. This fine number was submitted by Jonathan C. Hitch, and look at that masterful beard. I am absolutely blown away. That is monstrous. And I say monstrous in the best possible way. Look, he's got the classy hat, the mustache, and the beard. You, good sir, are well on your way to gentlemanlyhood. And then there's this fine fellow, Andrew Eaton, also rocking an awesome beard. This one is much redder than mine. And look at this green check hat. He says that this took him 6 months of growth. That is a very good length. I think mine's a little longer, but I have been growing it for longer. So kudos to you, good sir. And this is the same fellow with a big smoke puff. Oh no, this is his smoke ship. I see now. This is his smoke ship. I like it. I can definitely see the sails. And that's a picture that he did from last week. Let me see if there are any other in this folder. You saw that one last week. So, then we've got this. This was submitted by Eric Griffith, and it's called Horde Warlock by Zero Funk. Horde Warlock because the Alliance Warlocks remind me of Edward Cullen. If he did this pose himself, I have to say that that's some skill right there. So congratulations, Eric. And this is from the same fellow, only this time he's got, and it flew off the screen because of, there. You can see it right there. That is a Death Star with a Horde symbol on it. So it's the Horde Star flying in to attack Stormwind. I approve. I have to admit, that is something of which I approve. That's it for that folder. Let's go back to photos and see if we can find anything else. Doomageddon. These were submitted by Eric Griffith. And this is called Doomageddon on the Throne. Doomageddon level 70 Death Knight. Left to right. Alright, so it looks like these are members of his guild. He's showing us the members of his guild. All of them must be Oxhorn fans, because that's how it makes, that's what makes it related to the show. Nicely done, thank you for that. And this apparently is for the Horde, his same guild members and friends saying for the Horde. So thank you for that, Eric. Guests on Scotch and Smoke Rings. This was submitted by Joel Bryson, and he took some screenshots of some of the guests that have appeared on Scotch and Smoke Rings. This is, of course, my brother Beanstalk, and this is She-Devil, who has her own online gaming community. And she's the one who made those stuffed Oxhorn dolls. And then this is my cousin, KTD. He misspelled her name. It's not KKD, it's KDD. Because her last name is Dennis, and her name is Catherine, so we called her Katie. Anyway, childhood name. Doesn't make much sense. But anyway, those are guests of the program, Scotch and Smoke Rings. Thank you for adding those. And I believe that that is all we have for this time, for this period of time. If you didn't get your fan art up on the community group, no worries, never fear. You can get them up. Autumn says I didn't show hers. Autumn, is it on? Is it on the group? I showed a bunch last week. I think you were here though, so. Oh, you put it in the fan art folder. My apologies. That is, of course, the best way to go about it, because we do have a fan art folder and it should be used. So here we go. Looking into the fan art folder and not doing an Inception sort of thing. Scrolling to the very bottom, because there are a lot of pieces of fan art in this folder, over 1,000, and we get to wait while they all load individually. We're almost there. Come on, Internet. There we go. Alright. Sorry about that, Autumn. Did not mean to ignore you. So here's this fine fellow again. Let's go back in time to see what this one was. This was submitted by Jonathan Tish, and it's got a fellow here, and this fellow is saying, knock, knock, would you like to buy some Forge Scout cookies, Mr. Arthas? Very, very clever. And then there was this submitted by Jonathan Tish. Tumnus the Gnome Mage overthinking his engineering duties again. Gnome brains are so small. Again, I don't really quite see how this is fan art for Oxhorn. Looks like fan art for World of Warcraft, and I suppose that that counts. Here's one by Christina. Oh, this is Autumn. Here's yours. I created this just for you. Alright, we've got Men Have Style. Alright, looking pretty classy. Gentlemen Have Class. Very classy. And then men who have beards, drink fine scotch, and can make smoke rings have style and classiness on an epic level. Hey, I'm not going to deny that, right? That is definitely the way I think of myself. And then she did another one that says, when good mustaches go bad. Yes, this is in reference to my difficulties last week trying to get my mustache to work. And then these are the birds of hers that we showed off last week. So thank you for that. I really appreciate all the fan art that you guys send to the program. If you would like your fan art featured on the show next week, just go to my group, which is facebook.com/groups/Oxhorn, I believe. Cute little hardcore kitten. I do not envy your job, but have at it, my friend. In fact, I'm going to ban one person just because I want to. No talk like that at Scotch and Smoke Rings. Thank you very much. Nicely done, cute little hardcore kitten. Nicely done. What kind of scotch are you drinking tonight? Asks Justified 987. And then Autumn says, your scotch is lonely. Today I'm drinking Scoresby blended Scotch whiskey. And it is indeed lonely. It's time to do something about that. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Bottoms up. And what kind of program would be called Scotch and Smoke Rings that lacks smoke rings? There we go. Back on brand. I like that. Who would win in a classiness fight? Oxhorn or Doctor Who? Probably Doctor Who, because after I defeated him, he could just go back in time and kill me so that I wouldn't defeat him. But aside from his TARDIS, probably me. Breeding HTML, which conjures up a nasty image, says, we are all awaiting the smoke boat, I believe. The ship comes at the end of the program. I try not to blow smoke boats. I'm more of a ship fellow. But stick with us, and eventually we will have a smoke ship. Daro's Lol says, is Barnaby the true mastermind behind it all? That's a secret, my friend. Associate Professor Evil, a.k.a. Lieutenant Colonel Virtue, a.k.a. Mr. Evil, would like to say that he is the reason for all of his mighty successes. But in reality, it is Barnaby. He is the brains behind the outfit. Barnaby! For those who don't know Oxhorn movies, you probably just got very confused and potentially frightened at that moment. And that's okay. Ironbark says, oh, I always thought it was the Wheel of Cheese. I think I had that in one of the episodes, the very first one, didn't I? And this Wheel of Cheese. Crinackle says, Biox, good to go. See you next week, and I'm sorry I have to miss the rest of the show. Pleasure to have you here, my friend. We will indeed see you next week. Baldock says, Oxhorn can't regenerate, but the Doctor has 2 more chances to be classy. That's true. Wait, the Doctor can regenerate indefinitely, right? So he has indefinite chances to be classy. If my class factor obliterated him and he had to transmorgify or whatever into a new Doctor, this duel would go on forever. Yeah. Dr. Oxhorn says, Autumn, indeed it's true. I have to confess that the BBC, they did knock at my door last week, and they asked me to come and audition for the part of the next Doctor. Apparently, Matt is seeking to retire, and I think I would be a good fit, right? You know, something horrible happens, maybe a nuclear holocaust, and the good old Doctor has to die and transmorgify into a new guy. And I can see it, right? His hands start glowing, his face starts glowing, then all of a sudden a giant beard appears, and I'm there with a derby. And I think that would be a fitting new Doctor. So, for those of you who are in England and you have connections at the BBC, just say, we've found the next Doctor, he lives in Seattle, give him a call. Twitter, right. I keep forgetting Twitter. I'm going to pull up my Twitter machine and see if we can get this Twitter thing going. Sonic Screwdriver would be the cigar. Ha ha ha! Alright, Grumac has submitted fan art in a non-traditional way, but that's okay. Let's see what we got here. Fan art from Grumac. It says, Smoke Ship. Oxhorn blows a pultritudinous smoke ship, blasting the enemy, killing them instantly. Smoking Barrage. Oxhorn rapidly fires smoke rings at his opponent, dealing 9,000 damage per smoke ring. Of course, because together they are over 9,000, right? I see what you did there. Nicely done, I dig it. Nonstop Disco says, I remember being in my early teens sharing Ralphama with people that didn't even play WoW, but they loved it. Mid-teens. That is awesome, my friend. I'm so glad that, you know, one of the most rewarding things about the whole Oxhorn thing is that the movies I made, how many years ago? 7? Let's see, I started almost 10 years ago. Those people are now close to 10 years older, right? So if you were 13, you're going to be 23. You're an adult now, and I I'm able to say that I made something that made you laugh when you were a kid, and that's extremely rewarding to me. So I'm so glad that many of the fans have not only watched when they were kids, but have continued to watch now that they're adults. Come in, demon. Says, I love your movies. Well, thank you very much, good sir. So glad that you're here. Cheers and bottoms up. Had some good ones there. Austin the Wiz says, Oxhorn, how's Hat doing? He is doing very well. Last time we met, he was, at a Hawaiian volcano? He's on vacation, basically, and he's touring the world and seeing new sights. He just finished his time in Hawaii and has since moved on to Croatia. That's right, Croatia. Checking out the landscape, meeting new friends, taking lots of pictures. You can follow him on Instagram. I forget what it is, but he is on Instagram, and you can follow him there. Ironbark says, yes, Oxhorn, some people don't know where they can find your music. Could you help refresh our memories? Why, thank you very much, Ironbark. My music is available on Amazon MP3 or iTunes, and you can find it at oxhorn.com/music. Super easy. Oxhorn.com/music, where you can purchase Ruffle Mal and Tank Tank Heel Tank and my Christmas album, Oxhorn's Christmas for Geeks. Wolf235 on Twitter says, hey Oxhorn, what happened to Mort and Staghorn? They're doing very fine. The voice actor who plays Staghorn currently works at a coffee shop in Seattle. So he and I will meet up for drinks every now and then. And I am Mortus and Oxhorn, so we're both doing fine. Dookie Pie says, do you even lift? He failed to use the word bro, which is great because he realized that I am not a bro. Never have been a bro. Never will be your bro. I am simply Oxhorn. But yes, I can lift. As you can see, I am lifting my beard with my chin. Takes talent. Leroy2411 says, I just saw your stream and I remembered Rafflemal. When I was 8, that was the first time I saw it, and it still makes me laugh at 16. Great stuff. I was just talking about that. That's so awesome. I'm so glad that you still enjoy it. And maybe when you are a father with your own children, you will show your kids my movies and make them laugh too. Cat Call says, play a little melody on your flute. Someone in the other chat asked me to play the penny whistle. Alright, I think I can do that. Gotta pause that, though. Alright. Yes, probably Austin the Wiz. Alright, see if you Oxhorn fans can remember this one. There you go. Ironbark says, that's easy. That's the illegal Danish theme song. Ah ha 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 ha. Woo! You, sir, are quite a comedian. No, as he is well aware, that was, of course, the great Kodo. I hope you all remember the great Kodo. I had a lot of fun with that movie. Cheers. Ninja Kamala says, invent your own Dr. Oxhorn theme song. And then that whistly part would probably be with the penny whistle.
Go home and tell your mother that she certainly did a wonderful job on you. Go home
Aikidoswag says, can you shout out to me, please? With 13,000 exclamation points. Yes, there it is. That's a shout out to you. Handmint says, Oxhorn, shall we sing about our hatred of elves? Well, yeah, I mean, I've already done my part. I invented the anti-elf anthem, where I sing about my elf hatred, of which I am not ashamed. So feel free to sing about your elf hatred in any way, shape, or form you wish. And if you do decide to create your own song, upload it to YouTube and send it to me, and I will do my very best to promote it for you. I'm a cute little hardcore kitten says, can you shout out to me, Ox, even though you say my name almost every episode and I'm mod Twitch and am well known in this chat, but still. Who are you again? Have we met? I don't think I quite can play. Oh, that's right. Yeah, cute little hardcore kitten. Of course I remember you, my friend. I kid. Just playing with you, my friend. Coots says, that looks like a delicious cigar. It's okay. I've had better. It's a cheapie, an El Cheapo. And I bought it because it was cheap, and I wanted a cigar for today, and it's okay. Okay, now everybody's asking me for shout-outs, and I don't think I'm going to do that. There are 100 of you in the chat right now, and I don't think I could shout out all of you. So, okay, someone keeps asking me if I'm Amish. Let's do a little checklist, all right? Amish hates technology. Okay. Oxhorn sitting at a computer. Amish hates technology. Oxhorn using a video camera. Yes, no. Amish don't have mustaches.
You are listening to
Oxhorn has a mustache, and it is nicely waxed with non-wax. So let's stack up the evidence. Okay, Amish level way down here. Yeah, maybe like 1.35% Amish and the rest Irish. Yes, I am Irish, not Amish. That's just the way it is. I'm so sorry. The next person will say, are you Jewish? No, Irish. You don't see me wearing a yarmulke. And I don't have little curly cues coming out of my sideburns. So I cannot be an Hasidic Jew. You know what would be awesome? I don't know very many of them, but if the next time I did this program, I was flanked on one side by an Amish fellow, and then on the other side by an Hasidic Jew fellow, and then the three of us could do the show together, I think that would probably break the internet, right? Wouldn't that be the epicest or most epic show ever? I think so, yeah. Baldock says, are you human? No, you mere mortals. I am obviously superhuman. Sorry, I hate to break it to you. I descend from my lofty perch every week, just so that I can do this show with you mere mortals. Autumn says he's the ox god. No. Alright, I'm kidding about that. I am no god. I am no superhuman. I am a mere mortal. As much as I hate the fact, I am a dirty, dirty human being. Dirty, dirty. Austin the Wiz says, "Hey Ox, what happened to Thunk?" Thunk drowned in a pool of turkey. Turkey for everyone. No, Thunk is doing well. He's off eating turkey, and then after waking from his nap, he's eating more turkey with a bunch of vulgar trolls. That's his life now, and he enjoys it. Conceptuck says, "My opinion of you is that you are very strange." That's actually really fitting. Yeah, that doesn't even bother me. You're right on the money there. Look, my friends, Amish do not look like me. I do not look Amish. Amish shave their mustaches, right? Amish wear fedoras. This is a derby. This is not a fedora. Amish wear overalls and other such Danish clothing, traditional Danish clothing. These are not overalls. These are suspenders. I am wearing a dress shirt with a collar, right? I'm wearing slacks. I'm not in any way, shape, or form Amish. I just don't even look it. So, I'm sorry if you're so unsophisticated that you don't know what an Amish person looks like. Maybe Google it after the show and then compare. Just so that we're all educated. Just saying. Show us a smoke ring, please, says Nep this. Alright. This is Scotch and Smoke Rings. It would be remiss of me to have such a show and not actually do smoke rings. Good ones there. He just got wrecked, lol. Sorry, I didn't mean to wreck anybody or tear you down. I was jesting. That was all in jest. I would never ever think that anyone watching this program was unsophisticated. V. Casper says, "When did you decide to put on this whole aura of 1910s style?" Well, the music I'm actually listening to at the moment is swing music from the 20s and 30s. That's a couple decades after the 1910s. And, you know, honestly, this is just what I've always been interested in. I've always worn suspenders as long as I can remember. I grew a beard as soon as I turned 18. This is kind of, I mean, people say it's like 1910s or whatever, but it's just me in 2013. Big Stacks 2 is in the chat. Pleasure to see you, Big Stacks 2. It's been a while. Jonathan says, "Sorry, Ox, fading fast. I've got to get some sleep. Have a good night and stay classy." Good, sir. So glad that you came today. You just reminded me it is getting close to the end of this program, and as is customary, we end this show with a smoke ship. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you have been saving your smoke ship ideas, for now is the time. What is on your mind, I will try to create with my smoke any such design as you deem fit. Wow, that was quick. Alright, Ghoulbreath says, "Oxen crew driving a yellow submarine that happens to be flying over Stormwind, dropping rainbow bacon bombs on the city as Mortus and Mr. Evil shoot pizza panda cannons at King Varian's castle." Autumn says, "Oxhorn on a stunning warship that has horde banners waving in the wind as it sails across an ocean of Scotch, with Hat the Turtle trailing behind holding a rope in his mouth and riding the waves." You guys are very good at this. Mr. 8-Ball says, "Oxhorn versus Ninjas and Mr. 8-Ball's friend in a beard versus beard bowling match on a steak turkey smoke subplane." Wow. In front of a horde of panda gnomes and bald elves and evil ox and Thunder King as refs. Sorry, there was just so much in that one that I'm kind of gotta have to recuperate. Nepthius says, "Wait, Oxhorn, you stream? How did I not know? You are a legend. My brother and I have seen all of your vids. I get all nostalgic about old WoW when I watch them these days. Thanks for your work." Well, thank you so much for finding the program. I hope you can tune in every week here at scotchandsmokerings.com, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Time. $20 bill says, I'm not as classy as you, but I love cigars and scotch and schmoozing with good company. I'd love to enjoy a cigar in a nice glass with you. My friend, you are welcome every week to show up with all of your cohorts here at scotchandsmokerings.com. And together we can tip our hats and chin up a little bit of scotch and enjoy some smoke rings. Ninja of WoW says, throwing banhammer and unclassy people. Professor Evil... Oh, this is two ships. Okay. Oxhorn and Baby Gavin listening to Nova reading The Tale of Clorne Hastings out loud while Rolloran and Ghoulbreath throw gnomes and hippie elves over an orc war zeppelin. Hardcore Kitten and Ironbark are throwing banhammers at unclassy people while Professor Evil, Staghorn, and Mortus are sitting and relaxing and eating panda pizzas while watching Ninja of WoW and Mr. 8-Ball bowling with panda heads at gnomes. Okay, then. I'm liking that. You guys are just really creative today. Duders Man says, bacon shippin'. Bacon shippin' a picture on a bacon ship with everyone on it while drinking scotch with bacon powder dusted into them while shooting bacon at all the elves. Nicely done. And then we have Justified 987 who says Oxhorn, Mortus, and Staghorn go on a mystical adventure around 1,000 needles on a bacon and pancake rowboat until Dr. Evil appears on the Horde starship and stops to accompany Oxhorn on their travels. Shawarma says Oxhorn soaring through the time-space continuum in his own TARDIS, whose chameleon circuit has disguised as a copy of Tale of Clorne Hastings, now available at clornehastings.com and other fine online retailers. Indeed. Doom again says Oxhorn and the gang on a battleship with the invisible pink unicorns shooting bacon at hippie elves and pandas while Staghorn sings Soft Kitty to I Am a Cute Little Hardcore Kitten and Gavin. Soft Kitty? Do I know that song? Sounds strange. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, great smoke ship ideas. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with
deserves to have an appreciative modern audience.
Ninja of WoW. I don't believe I've ever done yours before, and your smoke ship incorporated so much from this chat, so I'm going to go ahead and do Ninja of WoW. Here we go. Wow! I hope you caught it. If you blinked, you missed it. But for the briefest of moments there before your eyes was the following scene, with Oxhorn and Baby Gavin listening to Nova reading The Tale of Clorne Hastings out loud while Rolloran and Ghoulbreath throw gnomes and hippie elves over an orc war zeppelin. Hardcore Kitten and Ironbark are throwing banhammers at unclassy people while Professor Evil, Staghorn, and Mortus are sitting and relaxing and eating panda pizzas while watching Ninja of WoW and Mr. 8-Ball bowling with panda heads at gnomes. It was all there. I hope you pressed the little screenshot button. It'll be worth money someday, I'm just saying. Mick Fnurk says, wow, it's you. Yes, it is me. Wow, indeed. Duders Man says, why did lag have to happen there? I missed it. Oh, I'm sorry. Shawarma says, time for the after show party. Watch Ox try to log out for 10 minutes. I don't think so. I think it's going to be alright. But I actually do have quite a cigar left. I mean, look at that. That's a lot. I've been talking too much. Alright, now it's your guys' turn. Talk to me in your amazing dialects and entertain me while I finish this cigar. Oh, that's right, you can actually speak. One of these days, I guess I should do a Google Hangout so that people can speak to me. Or maybe I should get a telephone right here, and I could say, line 1, you're on live at Scotch and Smoke Rings, what's on your mind? And then develop some sort of catchy catchphrase. Ironbark says, Oxhorn, nice seeing you, my friend. I'll be back next week. Thanks for the support. pleasure to have you here as always, Ironbark. I'm so glad that I was able to see you today. See you next week. Goot Niengrich says, will Baby Gavin ever play a role in your machinimas? Absolutely. He's a little young right now, but when he's old enough to be able to appreciate World of Warcraft and machinima, I do predict that he will be quite involved. Catcall says, the Amish do not believe in telephones. True. That is a true statement. CootX says, Ox and watching Hannibal right after. Good Thursday evening. So, Oxhorn and Hannibal, yeah, they go together, right? Like cheese and rice? Is that how it goes? Beans and rice. Beans and rice. Gutaningrich says, see you, Ox, maybe you'll get better at pronouncing my name next Thursday. Hey, I've gotten better. I misspoke it the first time. Thereafter, I was fine. And look, it is 8:06 according to my clock. And look at the mustache. It is still intact. Ding, 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 ding. I think we found a winner, ladies and gentlemen. Good old hairspray. So I just purchased some new mustache wax. It's going to be arriving in the mail tomorrow or the day after. I'm going to test it out. It's called Wacky Tacky, and it was recommended to me by some fellows in a United Kingdom mustache club. And they swear by it, so I'm going to try it and see if it works. But if not, I know what my backup plan is going to be. Hairspray. $20 bill says, by the way, when I asked earlier what I should drink, you responded with rum. However, I'm running out of my Ron Zacapa Solera, so I opted for red wine. There is no shame in red wine, my friend. Red wine is good for you, in moderation, it's tasty. Have at it. Big Sax 2 says, goodness, the Scotch and smoke rings is so fun. Ox has exceeded the time limit and is still there. What a night. I know. Well, I got a little bit of a late start, so I figured I'd stay a little longer. But I got my smoke ship in. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do don'ts for husbands and don'ts for wives. You know what? I'm just going to have to save that for next week. I know it's a regular part of the show, but I'm getting close to the end of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, you all have stuck with me all day today. Thank you so much. We still have over 80 people in the chat right now. And I'm already 10 minutes over. But I need to head on out. My beautiful wife and little baby boy are waiting for me, so I'm going to cut this short. Actually, I'll be cutting it long. But anyway, I'll be cutting it off. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. Episode 195. Stay tuned. Be sure to tune in next week. Same Ox time, same Ox channel, where we will have a special guest. That's right, next week we have a guest host. He is the owner and CEO of a popular Xbox gaming company here in the Seattle area. He's going to be coming on to offer his advice to anybody who wants to get involved in the video game industry. His company is profitable and it's made millions of dollars selling games on the Xbox marketplace. So if you're interested in that at all, be sure to tune in next week. ScotchandSmokerings.com, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, here in Seattle, and we'll be able to answer all sorts of questions, and you'll be able to learn some things about the gaming industry, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming, and as always, we say here at ScotchandSmokerings.com, be sure, my friends, to stay classy.